Bronco and Ford Maverick information. So welcome to Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We're going to be talking about Ford Bronco, Ford F-150, Lightning, and Ford Maverick quality and resale. You're going to love this, folks. These are very popular models, but I don't want anyone getting fooled. There's, two truths and a lie to this title. So we'll call the title Best Resale Value, Ford Maverick, Ford Bronco, Ford F-150 Lightning, also known as Two Truths and a Lie. So I don't want anyone getting fooled. So don't forget to hit the like button, folks. Subscribe so you don't miss out on information that will save you thousands. And this information will absolutely save you thousands. So here we go, folks. No brainer, the Ford Maverick is an excellent vehicle to buy. Of course, in most cases, you're gonna have to order it unless you are willing to take an EcoBoost off a lot. And if it's a hybrid, you're definitely gonna have to order it. Wait times are way lower, but the Ford Maverick finished 10th overall among all new vehicles with an estimated 5-year resale value of 54%. Now, the Bronco finished first with an estimated resale value of 66.7%. So regardless, the Ford Maverick also topped the relatively small compact pickup segment. So first for the small pickup segment, 10th overall for all vehicles. Ford Bronco, the big SUV, not the Bronco Sport, but the Ford Bronco, the more expensive one, the bigger one, finishing first across all vehicles at 66.7%, holding that value over 5 years. That is incredible. Now, Kelly's Blue Book, best resale value, how they award these it's based on projections from the organization's official residual value guide. Kelly Blue Book residual values are established by automotive analysts that review the output from statistical models built upon millions of transactions. Vehicles that earn the highest 5-year residual values expressed as a percentage of the original manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP, are selected for these awards. However, they also picked out the Ford F-150 Lightning, and that's why it's two truths and a lie. The Ford Maverick is an incredible purchase in regards to resale. The Ford Bronco is the best vehicle you can buy if you're looking to resell it. Now, I guess they didn't consider the Porsche 911 in their analysis because probably not enough gets sold and very few people can afford them. But the Porsche 911 has been depreciating at a better rate, though. But we won't get into that. That's also if you're looking at the very high end of things. A Porsche 911 is fantastic. It doesn't depreciate like crazy like most Jaguars, most Land Rovers, most Mercedes-Benzes, or just really most high-end vehicles altogether. The 911 is a fantastic vehicle to get. The Corvette also has very good resale values. The WB, your Corvette, love it. Your new Corvette that you've been waiting on, fantastic choice. But if you're looking for a great investment, get a Ford Maverick or get a Ford Bronco. Those are great investments. So not the Bronco Sport like in the picture just beneath, Ford Maverick or the big Bronco. And we've absolutely loved our Ford Maverick. We're not seeing a lot of Ford Mavericks come back to the dealership with issues. We've been very pleased with the paint quality. Yes, these are made in Mexico and people will slam it for that. But the Ford Mavericks and the Ford Bronco Sports that I've been getting from being assembled in Mexico, the paint on them has been fantastic. I've had several Broncos go through that needed paint corrections. My personal Bronco, the hood got repainted, but nonetheless, I love my Bronco. I highly recommend it. I give it a 9.8 out of 10 just because it could be better. I just don't see a better vehicle on the market to buy right now. Now, the Maverick, it's super practical, 1,500 pounds in the box. You've got a vehicle that's fun to drive. It's a unibody, or kind of like what one of the people in the comment, one of our community members called it, they like to say an exoskeleton, which I think is really cool as a term. So I'm going to borrow your term. I really like that exoskeleton term. It's very nimble. It's got very good handling, and you can, pack $1,500, 1,500 pounds onto this vehicle and have real work done with it. Now, we're going to be talking about, to conclude this though, the Ford F-150 Lightning. Let's get into those details. Two truths and a lie. Kelley Blue Book put the Ford F-150 Lightning as having the best resale value amongst electric trucks. Well, that's because there basically are very few electric trucks available on the market. And it would make you think that a Lightning is going to be great to buy for a year or two and then resell it. And I just want to warn everyone, don't be fooled. F-150 Lightning has had a great deal of depreciation compared to a Maverick or a Bronco. I had two Broncos. I'm on my third. First two Broncos I sold right around MSRP after driving them for over a year, 14 and 15 months of utilization. And one actually sold a little over MSRP, the first one, and the second one I sold just a little under MSRP. It cost me $2,000 to drive that Outer Banks Sasquatch Bronco for 15 months. That's, $150, less than $150 per month. You can't beat that, folks. That's incredible. But the Lightning, well, my Lightning was 112,000 Canadian dollars, 112,000 Canadian dollars. And now I'm trying to sell it for 80,000 Canadian, and it's not sold yet. I'd say its trade-in value is probably around 70,000, so $42,000 less than what I paid a year ago. And I'm hoping to not trade it in for about $70,000. I'm hoping to sell it myself for 80 and have only $32,000 loss over 1 year. It's a lot of money, folks. So Kelley Blue Book, putting that as, yes, Ridgeview, I'm driving. Thank you. The eruption green is absolutely beautiful, and I appreciate you dropping that. Yes, and not the only one that has eruption. I was the second one to get on YouTube, I think, to get that color, because we got Dwayne from Driven Wild Outdoors, who has a beautiful eruption green as well. So just to mention you a few of the channels I love to follow: Driven Wild Outdoors, Long MacArthur Ford, All Terrain Nation. Some channels that I really like and I think are really worth catching, folks. Now, yeah, so I'm going to lose. It's going to cost me about roughly $32,000 to $42,000 to have used my Lightning for 1 year. So Kelley Blue Book is putting that as, the best depreciation for an electric truck, because there aren't very many electric trucks. And of course, the electric Hummer electric truck depreciates even more. They start off at about $200,000, and then in no time at all you lose $100,000. So, or not quite, that's a slight exaggeration, but just beware. If you do, there's one solution. If you do want to get a Lightning like I did, do what I did: lease it. This way, at the end of the 4 years, I have the option. I could just keep the vehicle, but with the automotive channel, I like to have the latest and greatest. And it's a hard pill to swallow, but I've swallowed it, and I'm willing to sell it. But at least with the lease, I have the option to get to the end of the 4 years and say, Ford, you thought it'd be worth, whatever it may be on my buy it back price, the residual value. I can say, Ford, you thought this would be worth X number of thousands of dollars. Here are the keys. There you go. Now it's your problem. So if it's worth $10,000 or $15,000 less, or $20,000 less than what they had anticipated, it'll be their problem. That's money I won't have to lose. So my big advice is, if you do get any electric vehicle, lease them, because they are depreciating already like crazy. It is so bad how bad they're depreciating. Some of the vehicles, they were the segment that depreciated the least 2 years ago. Now they're the segment that depreciates the most. And how you can avoid that is by leasing it. And you know what? You can always buy it at the end of the lease if you're completely enamored and in love with your electric vehicle experience. But I think new battery technology will have come out, and you won't really want your electric vehicle anymore. If you want to stay with electric vehicles, you want that latest and greatest technology where the new batteries are going to go further and charge so much faster. And guess what? That's going to kill the value of your electric vehicle. So don't buy them cash. Don't buy an electric vehicle cash. Don't finance it, because if you finance it, you're in a purchase and you're responsible for your trade-in value. So you could be stuck with it for a long period of time. Lease it, and that way with my lease I can charge right up to 100% on the battery and not have to worry about, how is this going to affect battery life, which brings us into our next story, F-150 Lightning reliability. So I'm going to enjoy this story because at least there's a happy note to all of this. So let's get talking about this here.